息吹 GW を搭載した H-IIA ロケット55機は2025年6月29日午前1時33分3秒に種子島宇宙センターから打ち上げられました。
The H-IIA launch vehicle number 50 carrying Ibuki GW lifted off from the JAXA Tanegashima Space Center at 1:33 and 3 seconds a.m. Japan Standard Time on June 29th, 2025.
打ち上げ以降、ロケットの管制は吉信発射管制塔から竹崎総合司令塔に LIFTOFF 燃焼終了。
The solid boost
SRBA 分離。
The solid boosters have separated.
Solid rocket boosters are separated.
Boom, look at them coming down.
SRBAs are separated.
Look at the color.
Yo, it's blue.
ロケットは順調に飛行を続けています。
The rocket continues to fly on course.
The engine, main engine.
キロメートルです。
The current altitude of the rocket is approximately 100 kilometers. Velocity is about 1.7 kilometers per second. The current altitude of the rocket is approximately 100 kilometers.
How much fuel? How much fuel does it have? That's Japan right there, and that's where it is.
It looks like it came though from somewhere else.
No, it didn't. That's Japan.
Oh, it was water.
Well, that sucker's going up.
衛星フェアリング分離。
The payload fairing has been jettisoned.
The payload fairing jettison.
Okay, so now you're looking at, so this is the failing, the jettisoned. Now you listen to that and then actual live, and the voice of that's the payload failing has been jettisoned. Let me explain that the screen that you're looking at from the upper parts of the screen. This is you can find out the time. So x plus 305 and 6. This means that's the elapsed time from the lift off. So this is the event X. Is that for the one that the rocket is now in the flying and the real time? That this is the specific events. So this the blue it represented the plunge time, and then actually for that you can find out the actual time, and also you can find out that about that the difference from the plunge time and actual time and go and up. This is about the altitude or the velocity or the kind of vehicle informations that about the latitude, longitude, and altitude, and that all indicated, and also right hand side and the graphics, and so that the altitude and velocities as shown here, and for the light colored one, and now we have the green and the deep colored one. This is at the actual and the trace, so that you can find out what would be the actual flight and enveloped on and compared to the plan. The plan on the right hand side, you can find out that about for these arrows of that. So this is about now on a real-time basis. Now you can find out this is the data that are coming out from that the vehicles about the altitude of the vehicles, and now represented on a real-time basis, and just about the tip of the arrow and represented that the head of the rockets. So that now you can also and the opposite side is the tail and the engine side of the rockets. Okay, so in the middle of the screens, you can find out that's on the map there. Okay, so that now it is announced that about that the separation of the stage 1 and the 2. Okay, on the right hand side, this is the events. So this is the stage 1 and the 2 separations. Okay, it shows that for that and also starting that ignition of the first engines. So to the plan about the 417 seconds have that's actually that the event took took place in the 5 seconds and later than the plan. Yes, so this is the plan, but still there's the margin of error are there, so that's why. So there was no any problem. That's the kind of discrepancy. The plan is so substantial and large. So now at the large event after this, about 915 seconds
Only 2,000
for the cut off a second engine, so that the engine of the stage 2 will be stopped and cut off. So that was some more time for that, and so that the next event. So let me
When did they
explain about the
separate?
screen.
What?
So now in the middle of the screen, you can find out there's about the yellow line, and you can find out now you have the more of the extended of the red line. So they represent the 3 yellow lines, and the middle of it is about the planned line. But basically that the rocket is autonomously just to control the attitude and the course of the flights by the rocket. So now the other 2 yellow lines that represents about including the margin of error. So that, and this is that now we're going to find out that's what the course of the rocket is now in the flying right now. Okay, so on them, so that's now we get ready for the replay of the VTR and the videos of that's the lift off, the moments of lift off. Okay.
18, Replay, baby!
フライトモードオン。
The flight mode is on.
全システム準備完了。
All systems are go.
メインエンジンスタート。
The main engine ignition.
SREA 点火。リフトオフ。
Solid boosters are ignited. Lift off.
伊吹 GW を搭載した H-IIA ロケット50号機は
Oh my gosh,
2025
bro,
年
it's
6月
the final
29
one.
日午前1時33分
What's
3
gonna
秒
be their next
種子島宇
rocket?
宙センターから打ち上げられました。
I mean,
The H-IIA launch vehicle number 50, carrying Ibuki GW, lifted off from the JAXA Tanegashima Space Center at 1:33 and 3 seconds a.m. Japan Standard Time on June 29th, 2025.
what do you think
打
it's,
ち上げ以
is
降
gonna be
ロケットの
their
完
next
成は
launch
吉信
vehicle?
発射管制塔から竹崎総合
Because
司
the
令塔に引き継がれていま
H-I
す。
Following the
Because
liftoff,
the
the
H-2
operation
series is
control of
just
the rocket
done.
has been
It's
transferred
over.
from Yoshinobu Blockhouse to Takesaki Range Control Center.
ロケットは現在東南東方向への太平洋上へ飛行しています。
The H-IIA is
はい、リ
currently
プレイの映
heading
像をご
east.
覧いただいて
Now you're looking at replayed and the videos, and also we actually ended up with just that and the watches that on the sides, and it was really just and fresh rights, and we saw that now this is a replay of that and the rockets that they kept flying, and from the Tanegashima Space Center now you're going getting the flight in the far like this. So now you were just looking up from that the tail side of the rockets. So this is when I look at this replay that there's a BA2s is now the burnt, and also for core engines the main, the orange that below that the main LA7A engines the burning, and also the 2 SLB the burnings. That will the providing the thrusting power of the rockets. Okay, so this about the boosters burst ended. Now can you check out the separation? Yes, and we can just look at that separation. So this is about that the blue, white, the light, and the color is that's what the core ones, and the 2 and about the 2 dots, the red dots. This is, and it wasn't after the ending that the burning of this BA, and now it's like and parting away is very clearly. Yeah, we can look at that. So that the main engine is about the liquid and the hydrogen, and also for that's about the color of that's the is in the white blue color. This is just the bonding of this. Sometimes it's very difficult to do follow and with the cameras. Okay, so, and now you look at that replay video. So now next press 500, I'm sorry, and 755 seconds. So the next event will be the 915 seconds. So that we'll have some more time until the next event for that rockets. So that it will lift it up from the Tanegashima Space Center, and once it go into the east side, and after that we just and changes the direction to the south and going to the farther south now. Okay, so the ones is the it's not to the south, but once just heading to the east, because now they first of all try to follow away from the ground and the land as fast as possible, and after that when just they get away, and then they change the routes to go into that planet course. Okay, so for that this rocket, there are two different that are flying, and just like that, going to this south like this, and the other is that, for example, a stationary orbit like that, for example, the weather satellites, that would be staying above the Japan. If it's that's a satellite, we're going to, and it's not going to the south, but going to the east. If it's the case that for the satellite, and in this Ibuki GW, this will be going into the vertically row and go around the Earth, and going having the surveys. So that's why going to the south. Okay, so now it's X plus 843 seconds. Next the event will be in 915 seconds. Yes, it will soon. Well, the next events will take place, and I'm just exciting. And that's yes, I'm gonna just skip a beat, and now I'm just waiting for the next events. Okay, so now the state of the rocket is now in the separation of the first stage and getting. Now the satellite is on the second stage rockets, and there's no any. And the bearing, and now that the satellite is now exposed without any cover, so that our altitude is about now ready for that to get away from that the impact from the air, so that there's no problem for that the satellite that is exposed without cover. But, so for the rockets now, and going up to the altitude, and also speed up, accelerate the velocity. So, and in no time, and
They've reached
cut off for
orbital
the second stage engine. Okay, so now the second stage engine cut off. It's confirmed. And everything is going well. And the next and 966 seconds. This is waiting for that separation of GW. That's that big event. So that's from the cutoff to the separations that now, and that's the big way to trying to just adjust its attitude. Now, no time, we can observe about the separation of the GW. Uh, 966 seconds, just over seconds, literally.
They're about to separate the satellite. We're ready? GW separation!
これをもちまして H-IIA ロケットの最終号機による伊吹 GW の打ち上げ実況放送を終了いたします。これまで24年間の皆様のご尽力に敬意を表します。
A heartfelt tribute to all those who have dedicated themselves to the H-IIA launch vehicle over the past 24 years. With this, we conclude our live coverage of the H-IIA launch vehicle number 50, the last flight. We wish Ibuki GW a successful and fruitful mission.
Yeah, now that's the H-IIA, now a Ibuki GW,
But anyway,
the
bye
liftoff
guys.
with that.